Apple's iPhone 15 Pro Max will be the most advanced new iPhone released in 2023, greatly differentiating itself from the iPhone 15 Pro and the rest of the lineup that's going official on September 12. With a periscope camera, refreshed new titanium design, a USB Type-C port, and multiple other improvements, the iPhone 15 Pro Max is already shaping up to be one of the best phones scheduled to get released in 2023. Meanwhile, Samsung has a rather respectable Android flagship in the face of the superb Galaxy S23 Ultra, probably one of the best phones available right now. With a respectable hardware, versatile camera, great display, and Samsung-tailored user interface that's fully benefiting from the deep integration with the S Pen stylus, the large phone is one that's usually topping most top charts. Will that be subject to change once the iPhone 15 Pro Max comes along? Apple's next pride and glory is most certainly coming this September, and unlike previous years, we'll get to see lots of improvements on board that will make this one a very important yardstick for Apple. Sure, there are always some major differences between Samsung's and Apple's top phones. However, ignoring the essential operating system and ecosystem differences between the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the Galaxy S23 Ultra, we might find out that these two phones aren't that much different from one another. Both are shaping up to be the two very best and super premium offerings on the 2023 smartphone market. First up, we have some major rumors claiming that Apple will be using a titanium frame on the phone, which would not only tone down the weight but also improve the overall sturdiness of the phone. There are even rumors that the phone might not even be so edgy and instead use a slightly curved backplate, similar to the latest MacBook Pros, which would make it more comfortable to handle. Another major change that's coming to the iPhone lineup extends to the mute switch, which will be substituted for a customizable action button, similar to the one on the Apple Watch Ultra. This will allow iPhone 15 Pro Max users to customize the button and enable different functions with it. And Apple is finally joining the USB Type-C club with the 15 Pro Max. What about the Galaxy S23 Ultra? This one relies on the same old glass sandwich design that has mostly remained unchanged in comparison with the Galaxy S22 Ultra. With a very premium design that pairs a flat bottom and top frames with slightly curved display and a built-in S Pen stylus, the S23 Ultra is one of the best designed phones of early 2023. Although we don't know how much the 15 Pro Max weighs, there's a high chance that the S23 Ultra will be the slightly lighter phone with the added ergonomics on the slightly curved design that may leave the impression that you're handling a smaller phone. The iPhone 15 Pro Max will most likely come in space black and silver, though the rumor mill is now convinced we'd see a Titan Gray and a deep blue color option on the Pro lineup. Gone will be the gold, deep purple, and rumored burgundy red colors. The Galaxy S23 Ultra can be yours in cream, lavender, green, phantom black, and a few other exclusive colors over Samsung's official website. Now let's move on to the display differences. The iPhone 15 Pro Max will come with a 6.7-inch Super Retina XDR display with very smooth 1 to 120 Hz ProMotion display that will allow for a pretty rewarding scrolling experience throughout the interface. However, aside from the thinner bezels and the return of the dynamic island punch hole, there might not be any major improvements to the 15 Pro Max's display, which will likely reuse the excellent screen of the 14 Pro Max. That was great with very high maximum brightness and excellent color rendition. Meanwhile, Samsung's 6.8-inch display is interrupted by a single punch hole, which definitely helps achieve a cleaner look. The Samsung phone otherwise also offers dynamic refresh rate up to 120 Hz, a very sharp QHD Plus display, and can also achieve high brightness in certain lighting conditions, albeit not as much as the iPhone 14 Pro Max and possibly the 15 Pro Max. The Galaxy S23 Ultra also hides an ultrasonic in-display fingerprint scanner, which allows you to quickly and effortlessly unlock your phone and authorize online payments. The 15 Pro Max will not have such an offering and will continue relying on the good old Face ID facial biometric. This one is more secure than regular Face Unlock. Now come to the performance aspect. Apple is rumored to put a 3nm Apple A17 Bionic chipset inside the 15 Pro Max. Utilizing a 3nm manufacturing process would allow for billions of transistors more to be fitted inside the upcoming Apple chip made by TSMC. This is kind of a big deal as it will improve both performance and energy efficiency across the board, potentially making the 15 Pro Max a chart-topping performance powerhouse and a very long-lasting phone. Meanwhile, Samsung uses the 4nm Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy in all its Galaxy S23 phones across the globe, a major change for Samsung, which has previously used both Snapdragon and Exynos chips on its phones. The chipset inside the S23 Ultra is not the garden variety one. Samsung has scored a custom, slightly overclocked version of the regular Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip, which delivers slightly better performance. We expect that the Apple S17 Bionic will be much faster and more efficient than the top Qualcomm offering. Such a big jump in silicon density all the way down to 3 nm means that the Apple S17 will likely be the best performing chip in the industry for a while and might even dare rival some desktop chips. The 15 Pro Max will come with 8 GB of RAM, which is the same amount of memory that the base Galaxy S23 Ultra comes with. The difference shouldn't be palpable though, mostly due to the way iOS uses memory and its more frugal management of system resources. So even though the two devices might come with the same amount of RAM, the 15 Pro Max might be able to keep more apps in the memory. The 12 GB version of the Galaxy should be the best in terms of multitasking. However, the S23 Ultra will most likely be the more productive phone as far as the user experience is considered. With true multitasking, split-screen view, as well as fully-fledged DeX desktop-like solution, not to mention the usability boon of the S Pen stylus, you will most certainly be able to do much more simultaneously on the S23 Ultra. When it comes to storage, we expect that the 15 Pro Max will be available in 128, 256, 512 gigs, and the ultra-spacious 1TB version. Quite a diverse selection that can fit just about anyone's specific needs. Meanwhile, the Galaxy S23 Ultra comes with 256, 512, or 1 TB of storage, which is less flexible, but on the upside, you get 256 gigs of storage with the base version of the phone. The 15 Pro Max will come with iOS 17 out of the box and receive at least 5 years of major software and security updates, at least until 2028. The S23 Ultra will receive software support for 4 more years until 2027 and security updates till 2028. At the Apple WWDC 2023 Developer Conference, iOS 17 was previewed. The software update will be available on the iPhone 15 Pro Max right out of the box. Like every other year, we got detailed sneak peeks at the new software goodies and features that will be coming to mostly all of Apple's hardware in September. iOS 17 features very big overhauls to phone, messages, and FaceTime, as well as improvements to Maps, Siri, Visual Lookup, and introduces interactive widgets. A brand new journal app will let you organize your life, while the new standby feature will provide you with useful information while your iPhone charges, either wirelessly or wired. You are also able to share AirTags to other iOS users as part of iOS 17. Now the main highlight of today's video is the camera department. The iPhone 15 Pro Max will most likely retain the high-res 48 megapixels main camera that debuted with the 14 Pro Max, but is heavily rumored to employ an even larger sensor. This would help the next iPhone deliver even better photos than its predecessors, with better detail resolve and potentially much better low-light image quality. The 14 Pro Max has been lacking when it comes to low-light photography, especially when compared to the S23 Ultra, so this is an area in which we'd love to see an improvement. The Galaxy S23 Ultra, however, totally wins in the pure specs game, as it comes with a 200 megapixels camera with a large 1.3 ISOCELL HP2 sensor. In good lighting, the S23 Ultra uses quad-pixel binning to produce very detailed 50 megapixels photos, but when the light goes down, Samsung's best phone will combine 16 pixels into one to produce 12.5 megapixels photos with excellent dynamics. The big change, however, will be the new periscope camera of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which would deliver 5x to 6x optical zoom for greater zooming capabilities. Hybrid zoom, however, should reach much further. However, the iPhone's new periscope camera wouldn't be able to match the 10x periscope camera of the S23 Ultra, which allows for up to 100x digital zoom, which is as long as they come, at least in the US. The front-facing camera on the S23 Ultra has actually been demoted to 12 megapixels all the way from 40 megapixels on the S22 Ultra, but that hasn't deteriorated the image quality. In fact, it has improved in some situations. We don't know if the iPhone 15 Pro Max will score a new FaceTime camera. Chances are we will still get the 12 megapixels one from the iPhone 14 Pro Max. When it comes to video, the Galaxy S23 Ultra has scored improved image stabilization as well as staggered HDR that delivers excellent dynamic range. 8K video at 24 and 30 fps is supported. At the same time, the iPhone 15 Pro Max will likely once again set the industry standard for video recording, much like all previous top-end iPhones. We don't know what battery the iPhone 15 Pro Max will come with, but we can assure that it'll again lead to top of the leaderboard. The iPhone 15 Pro Max is shaping up to be a major evolutionary step for Apple, introducing lots of changes to an already established and quite successful lineup. Still, the iPhone 15 Pro Max is likely perfecting all the essential aspects of a regular user's phone experience. Camera, performance, battery life, and design are all likely getting improved. Meanwhile, the Galaxy S23 Ultra is very probably the best Android phone available right now. It strikes an awesome balance between available features, hardware, camera versatility, and overall value, even though it also has an official $1,199 starting price. With lots of trade-in offers and deals available almost all the time, you might usually find Samsung's best phone available for less. So how do you like these devices compared to each other? Which one would be your daily driver? Share your valuable thoughts below in the comments section. And for more updates, you can check out our channel. See you in the next one. Peace out.